My name is Natalie Powers, and this is my book review for The Phantom Tollbooth by Norton Juster. I really enjoyed reading this book. I love fiction stories, so this was right up my alley. I think that this book is best suited for children in late elementary school to early middle school. This is based on the page count, the new vocabulary that I think they would be exposed to, and the density of the story. It was quite imaginative, and I think that students at that age group would best be able to comprehend it. That being said, I'm much older than that, and I really enjoyed it, and I think that it could be enjoyed by any age group. It was just a really great book. So the story begins with our main character, who is also our protagonist, who is Milo. And he is a young boy living in a city, and he's struggling with boredom. So one day he comes home to find a letter and a toll booth waiting for him in his bedroom. So he decides to go ahead and explore this and what it is, and he ends up in this whole new world called the Lands Beyond. He's able to pick where he goes first, which is Dictionopolis, which I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. And from here, he meets a lot of really fascinating characters and goes to a lot of really interesting places. Some of which reminded me of a Dr. Seuss book, or the characters in a Dr. Seuss book, which I also write about in my book summary. The way that they talk, the names of the places and the characters just gave me some resemblance to his writing. So some of the characters that he meets are the watchdog, who also goes by Tuck. And this is one of his main companions throughout the story. Another companion of his is known as the Humbug. He also meets two characters which I believe are the antagonists of the story, which is King Azaz and the Mathematician. So they present him with his conflict or his challenge in the story. He also meets someone called the Witch, who tells him the story of two princesses named Rhyme and Reason. And there are so many other characters, I could keep going on, that he meets throughout the story, but I felt like those were kind of the main ones. So Milo takes on this task of rescuing the princesses Rhyme and Reason, who are locked away in this castle that is floating in the air. So he goes on this adventure through so many different places, meets so many different characters, and through all of that, in the end, he does end up rescuing the two princesses, celebrates with everyone. So after this, he does go back home to kind of the real world. He goes to school, comes back the next day to find that the toll booth is no longer there. So at the beginning, we knew that he really struggled with being bored, and the toll booth, of course, helped with this, but I think that the toll booth also made Milo realize that he needs to appreciate what he has, and he doesn't have to be bored anymore. He can use the things that he has in his world to just appreciate what he has and be less bored. So I thought it was a really great story. I thought that there were two main themes to the story. The first one was, like I was just saying, appreciating everything that you have, not taking anything for granted, and I think that Milo realized that towards the end of the story. The second theme, I think, is the value of education. Milo is faced with a lot of challenges and tasks that are rooted in education. He experiences places in this world based on math, words, and he has to use his educational experiences to help him in these places. So I thought that was really interesting, and it makes it an even better read for students because they could be reading this as a school project and see, wow, education really is important. So a fun, imaginative project that I thought could be done in the classroom is children could pick something that they enjoy learning about, something specific. Maybe it's multiplication, or maybe they enjoy some sort of science. They like to learn about different types of weather. Whatever it may be, students pick something so that they're motivated because they're able to choose. And they create a place in the world for Milo based on what they like to learn about. So They would design what the place might look like. They would pick the characters. What would they look like? What would they act like? What would their names be? And then lastly, what would Milo face in this world? So if you placed Milo into your world that you're creating, what are some challenges that he would face? What would you present him with? So I think this would be a fun way to connect Milo, the character, to what students find motivating in education themselves. So overall, I really enjoyed reading this story. I think it was a great book, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to do a project about it.